Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. French here with your OG lesson for today, Monday, November 30th, 2020. Today, our new learning is how to chunk a new type of word. So, when we're reading, sometimes we come across words we don't know, and we need a way to figure out how to read them. We have already talked about one way to chop. This is our kite card that tells us some ways how to chunk a word. We have already talked about the second way right there, prefix, suffix chop. So we look at the word. If we see a prefix or a suffix, we chop it off and then try to read the base word. The way we're going to talk about today is a compound word. Okay, so compound words is a word that is made up of two smaller words coming together to make that new word. You divide it between the two smaller words. Okay. So what we do, if we look, like let's say I have this new word. I see two smaller words. Sunset. We would divide it between those two smaller words. Okay. Oh, I see can. I see not. I'm going to divide it. The word is cannot. Okay. Oh, I see that smaller word of pig, pen. Pig, pen. I divide it there. Let's do it for here. I'll run out of room. Okay. I see a small word of, do that, uphill. Uphill. Oh, this is a good one. Batman. Batman. We have two smaller words, makes up one new bigger word. So that's just a trick to help you when you're reading and you come across a new word you might not know of how to divide them. Can you think of any other compound words? Maybe if you can, maybe you can type them in a Google Doc or in an email or something and send them to your teacher, some compound words that you think of. Okay, let's go ahead and practice dividing and reading these new words. I see cat, fish. Catfish. Remember, every syllable just has one vowel. So we have two vowels in these words. So that tells us that there are two syllables. That can help us too. Himself. Himself. Handbag. Handbag. Sandlot. Sandlot. Bathtub. Bathtub. Chest. Nut. Divide it for that. That's the two syllables. Chest. Nut. Snap. Shot. Snapshot. Sunset. Sunset. I'm trying to think if there's any of these words you may not know. Chestnut's a type of nut. You might hear about it more as Christmas time comes. It's one that is in a Christmas song, chestnuts roasting over an open fire. Handbag's another word for a purse. Sandlot, sometimes people refer to that as a place where you might play baseball that's on a baseball field. It might have sand in it. It's a big lot, piece of land that might be just have dirt or sand in it where you can play, a sand lot. Okay, so let's go ahead I'm going to give you some clues and see if you can find the words I'm talking about. I'm looking for a word in column 2 where you might go to get clean. Bathtub. I'm looking for a word in column 2 that is an antonym for sunrise. Sunset. I'm looking for a word in column 1 that is an animal. Catfish. I'm looking for a word in column 1 that is a synonym for purse. Handbag. I'm looking for a word in column 2 that is another word for a picture. Snapshot. Okay, let's read them together one more time. Catfish, himself, handbag, sandlot, bathtub, chestnut, snapshot, sunset. Remember, if you can think of any others, maybe send them to your teacher. So we're going to get ready to do our SRS. So if you need to get your laminated SRS paper, go ahead and do that. I'm going to move my computer. Sorry if that makes you sick, but we don't need to see the easel anymore. Okay, so we're going to start with our sounds. So our first sound, look at my mouth. Ch. Keyword chair. Next sound, ing. Ing. Keyword king. Next sound, is. Keyword foxes. So we're looking at that suffix that makes that sound. And the next one, lee. Quickly is the key word. So we're thinking about that suffix. So you should have put CH, ING, ES, and LY. All right, let's go on to some review words to spell. So look at my mouth. Fishing. What's the root word? Chop that suffix. Fish. Let's finger spell. F-ish. And what's the suffix for fishing? Add that to the root word. Next word, look at my mouth. Filled. Like I filled the bowl. What's the root word? Fill. Let's finger spell. F-I-L. F-I-L. Fill. Write that. And what is the suffix in filled? Add that to it. Next word, quickly. What's the root word? Quick. Oops, I messed that up. Sorry. Quick. What's the suffix you hear in quickly? Add that. Then our last review word, look at my mouth, churches. What's the root word? Church. Let's finger spell. Ch. Write that. And what's the suffix to make it churches? So we should have fishing, F-I-S-H-I-N-G, filled, F-I-L-L, because that floss roll, E-D. Quickly, Q-U-I-C-K-L-Y. And churches, C-H-U-R-C-H-E-S. We don't have a new pattern because it was just a chunking method. It wasn't necessarily a pattern. So let's go down to how to spell a 2-syllable word. So our new words are all going to be 2 syllables. going to be compound words because that's what we worked on. Okay, our first word is sunset. Sunset. What two smaller words do you hear? The first syllable is the first smaller word? What do you hear? Sun. Let's finger spell it. S-n. Sun. What is the second syllable? Set. S-et. Set. So now we have sunset. Okay. Our next word is milkman. Milkman. What's the first syllable? Milk. M-I-L-K. Milk. What's the second syllable? Man. M-A-N. Man. Milkman. Our next new word, dishpan. What's the first syllable you hear, or the first smaller word? That's our syllable today. Dish. Dish. Let's finger spell. D-I-Sh. Dish. What's the second syllable? Pan. Pan. P-A-N. Pan. Write that. Now you've written dishpan. And the last word, bathtub. Bathtub. What's the first syllable? Bath. B-A-th. Bath. Second syllable, tub. T-U-B. Tub. Now the word is bathtub. You can check that. Sunset, S-U-N-S-E-T. Milkman, M-I-L-K-M-A-N. Dishpan, D-I-S-H-P-A-N. And bathtub, B-A-T-H-T-U-B. Okay, now we're going down to our new memory word. Here is our new memory word. I'll get better at knowing exactly where to put that. The word is father. Say it with me, father. So this is another word for dad, right? Your male parent, okay? Father. My father was named Alvin. That's my sentence, okay? So let's skywrite father. F-A-T-H-E-R. Father. Again, F-A-T-H-E-R. Father. One more time, big and strong. F-A-T-H-E-R. Father. Okay, let's look at it. And on the first line, look at the first letter. F, write it. Look at the next letter. A, write it. Next letter, look. T, write it. Next, H, write it. Next, look. E, write it. And last, R, write it. Now write the word father 3 more times as you spell it, as you write it. So F-A-T-H-E-R, father, 3 times on your paper. If you need to pause this, go ahead and pause it because we're going to go on and do our sentence. Okay, so there's one unfair part in this sentence, but we'll just see how you did, okay? So our sentence is, she held her father's hand on their walk. 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 8 words. Don't forget to check for cops. While you're writing, I'll let it go, and then I'm going to write it onto the easel, and we'll just be able to check it together like that. And you don't have to pause. She held her father's hand on their walk. See, I have to repeat it for myself too. All right, if you're not done, you pause it and come back to me. Oh goodness, I gotta go real far away. Actually, I don't. Here, I'll just lean the computer in a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's check for cops. You should have a capital S and she. Remember, we check that off. No other capitals. Order, she held her father's. I left out a word. I checked. Oh my goodness. Hand. So I got to squeeze in hand, and we'll talk about that spelling. See, we got to check our work. So now I've got it in order. Punctuation. This is a telling sentence, so we need a period at the end. Spelling. She held her father. We just did. And then to show ownership, this was the unfair part, apostrophe S. We've talked about it a little, but not a whole bunch. So father's, apostrophe S. Hand. You probably can't see my addition, HAND. On their, THEIR, walk, WALK. All right, good job today. I will see you tomorrow.